I don't know if it's, I actually had an issue not too long ago where my PlayStation 4 wouldn't let me connect to the store or PlayStation Plus or anything involving PlayStation Store. Um, and I actually had to go back and rebuild the database for my PlayStation 4 to correct the issue. Um, but in a kind of related note, uh, I don't know if it's. I think I need to go have my PlayStation 4 cleaned. You know, get all the dust and dust bunnies out of there because every once in a while my PlayStation will do this thing where it's just kind of loses Wi-Fi connection and then it'll just stutter, connect and disconnect, connect and disconnect over and over again. Um, the only reason I think it might be connected with that database thing is, once I rebuilt the database, yes, I could connect to the store, but also for like a good month, I had no issues with staying connected to the Wi-Fi. But yeah, my Wi-Fi disconnected. That's what ended the last episode, so. Just means that we're gonna have two really short episodes here instead of one long one. Uh, I won't be able to play for too much longer right now. Maybe another half hour or so. I definitely want to, see what this village has to offer. Oh, thank God. Maybe this guy. Let's see, we'll do...
Let's preserve it. You can take what's left. Can I help you?
And we'll sell the rest of this stuff.
Fair trade. Well struck.
Does that say 15,000 gold? Well, let's double check. No, 5,000. Still doing pretty good. And I really don't intend to buy anything because, one, this is a Diablo game, so most of what I'll need will be provided.
Right on a little piece of wood. Something about hubris or pride, perhaps. Well, it matters little, I suppose.
With Diablo games, you might spend $5,000 on a brand new cool weapon and then immediately find something that replaces it. Now, there are exceptions, you can get some really good stuff, but even that eventually will be replaced, and especially this early in the game, it's just not worth it. Better to save the gold. You know, it's like when I played Diablo 2, I kind of learned to save your gold for the most part until you get to Act 4 or Act 5. Because anything you buy before that, one, you'll get attached to, maybe unhealthily, and two, it's gonna be replaced.
The dry steps in search of that pale man from your vision. I must know.
If it's grayed
What
out,
part
then
he
why are you
plays in
making
all
me
this?
talk to him again?
But first, I need you to retrieve something of mine while I finish my negotiations. A merchant in the center of the city has it. Just tell him I sent you. Cracked hooves, sway back, cloudy eyes. This pup thing is practically crowbait.
Ah, so the old man's finally decided to buy it back. Knowing him, he didn't mention coin, did he? If he wants his weapon, you will need to pay.
Psh, 20 gold?
Wait. The old man sold me this too. He said he didn't need it anymore, but I think he'd want it back all the same. No charge.
I don't know why that's got a dot next to it. Alright. So yeah, I was talking about Diablo 3 and what a mess they made of the story. I mean, the girl you're helping throughout the whole Deckard Cain's little apprentice or whatever that turns out to be Adria's love child with the warrior from Diablo 1, which again kind of makes no sense. Turns out to be the new vessel for Diablo, and it's, you know, one, it was a plot twist that was easily seen coming, and two, just, I don't know, unnecessary, you know. But in fairness, during that time there was a lot of that where it's like, we'll invest you in these characters, and then, you know, they turn out, you know, Fallout 4 kind of had that, you know. Again, another plot twist that I saw completely coming, because the very first time I played through it, the very beginning, you know, I noticed that when Kellogg shot your wife and took your son, they put you back on ice. And like, when you're finally released, you're kind of meant to infer that it's just been a short amount of time, but for all you know, it's been 100 years. You know, so I had no problem guessing that the son was not going to be anywhere near, you know, the age. But then he turned out to be kind of basically the bad guy. I mean, if you want to say that there are good and bad guys in a game like Fallout, I mean, that all depends on which faction you went for, but...
Apologies.
He also gave me this amulet. What is it?
The mark of the Heradrim. An ancient order of scholars and mages, sworn to protect Sanctuary from demons. These days, we are few in number. There is another Haradrim, Donan. His breadth of knowledge about demons is equal only to his hubris.
Sounds like he could help us.
You should seek him out in Skosglen. But don't forget about the cathedral. They'll be expecting you, and they might prove to be useful allies too.
You're not coming with me.
I'm going to the Dry Steppes to find out who that pale man is. Join me when you can, just be careful. Your ties to Lilith, the visions you see. You are the key to finding her and stopping whatever she has planned.
Okay, that's another retcon.
Sometimes our paths in life are set to collide. We just don't know it. Whether it is by accident or fate's hand, saved by a lone monk. Different lives and incidents drawn together. By what? Destiny? Or some greater power pulling the strings? I did not know. But at the time, I thought I had the chance to protect humanity from the daughter of hatred. The Wanderer's connection to her gave me hope. Imagine that.
Okay. I guess those are purchased from the store. And there's still more. Was I finally done? I mean, it hits you with a lot. Like, maybe a little too much. Lunar Awakening, isn't that like the seasonal event? Like, why would that be my main quest? Okay. I don't like how it stays there. You see the little dot? And I've clearly scrolled on everything. I guess I gotta... I don't know. But yeah, that's... oh, crap.
I cannot do that here.
Okay, he was just kind of glitched. Um, there's a lot to unpack there. Um, One, obviously, Lorath was speaking kind of in the past tense. Like, all of this has already happened, and this is sort of a flashback, which is something that they sort of did with Marius in Diablo 2, but I'm not sure. I mean, it worked in Diablo 2 because all of Marius' story actually happened before your adventurer gets to those areas, you know what I mean? But in this, I don't know. And then there was also some foreshadowing, like, oh, you know, I thought the sorcerer with the visions was a good thing. Boy, was I wrong. Like, that's very foreshadowing that I'm gonna do something that's not gonna be great. Also, as I started to say before he, you know, continued to talk on and on, Lorath and the Stone and being Haradrim is a retcon that kind of makes no sense because for 3 games we've been pretty much told over and over again that Deckard Cain is the last. Oh, that's not good. Deckard Cain is the last of the Haradrim. Nice. So, and the only like apprentice he had was the girl that would end up, that was, I guess, what was his name, Aiden and Adria's daughter, that would end up being the next vessel for Diablo in Diablo 3. That was his only protege. So my question is, one, what is the time difference between Diablo 3 and this? And two, how are there Haradrim? If Deckard Cain was the last, and I believe he died in part 3. I think he was killed. Yeah, he was killed by Adria the witch. Or a witch that was connected to Adria. I don't remember. You know, again, that was just such a... The game itself wasn't bad. And I do like the fact that there were actually, you know, different, like the head shrinker, the witch doctor or whatever, and the vampire hunter or whatever it was called, which was basically, I mean, let's not get crazy. The witch doctor was basically a sort of inversion of a necromancer, and the demon hunter or whatever was a kind of a mixture of the assassin and the Boazon. But at least, you know, they were doing something different, you know. And then that leads to another question, is like, you know, I've gone online and looked up the canon for, like, the sorceress and the barbarian and what happened to all of them after the events of Diablo 2, and, like, many of them died. You know, they met their end in kind of rough ways in some cases. I mean, I know the sorceress did a spell where she accidentally killed a bunch of people, and assassin killed her because of it. I don't think the barbarian died because heaven forbid we have a game that doesn't include the barbarian. You'll get those stupid people. Oh my god, like, how am I gonna do my, whirlwind spin meta if there's no barbarian? Like, well, maybe they want to make a game where you're not playing the same way that you played the last game. Like, but, whatever, they give the people what they want. But yeah, I mean, does that mean that these characters are different? I mean, obviously this is not the sorceress, because this is a dude. So I'm gonna assume these are different characters, because you can choose the sex. Oh. But I know I've just kind of been wandering around. I'm just kind of looking at this village. I mean, there's a lot to take in. Oh, no.
Not while I'm in town.
Yeah, that's not good. It's lagged.
Not while I'm in town.
So with that, I guess I'm gonna end it there. Start getting some of this stuff done. Because obviously, when it starts lagging, like I'm pushing X, and it's not doing any of that.
I cannot do that here.
So yeah, I'm lagged. Yeah, I can't interact with anything. It's lagged. And again, it's entirely the Diablo 2 servers, because my internet is coming through fine. So would be great if there was an offline version of this, I didn't have to worry about that kind of thing, but it is what it is. They probably have a deal with Sony, Oh, if you give us such amount of money, we'll make it so people have to use your PlayStation Plus feature. Which they're gonna pay for, so you're gonna get all this money. Yeah. So with that, I guess I'm gonna leave you guys, and I'm more than most certainly gonna be back on later, so I also need to take the time and take a look at the first 3 videos on this, just to make sure that you guys can actually hear me. But without further ado, it's been great, and I hope to see you guys all skip campaign. What the? Anyways, I hope to see you all later.